Hi everybody, it's Andrea Bales here, registered nutritional therapist. I wanted to talk to you today about inflammation. I keep getting asked quite a lot, quite frequently, what exactly is inflammation? Can I explain that? So there's a couple of types of inflammation in simplistic terms, okay? So we have acute inflammation, which is when we get an injury or a trauma to a specific area of the body. And what happens to that is that we may experience pain, tenderness to the area. It may get red or hot and swollen. And in some cases, worst case scenario is that area becomes immobile and unable to function. And what happens when this occurs is that the body has this amazing inflammatory response all built in, that sends in the soldiers to repair that area, provide it with really specific targeted nutrients to put everything back in place and heal. And of course it depends on the trauma as to how long that healing and recovery process takes. Now, if you then take this one step further and that injury becomes infected, then we need other things. We need the immune system, the inbuilt immune system to come into play. And again, that sends its soldiers in to fight off any invaders, do the repair work and the recovery work in order for a full recovery of that trauma or that injury to take place. Now, this is all assuming, of course, that we have these nutrients in place and that we have the ability for our body to make these compounds and chemicals and enzymes that have to go in and support any trauma or injury. So that is acute inflammation, okay? And now I want to talk about chronic inflammation, or we can refer to that as long-term inflammation. So chronic inflammation occurs and is something that we generally don't see until it becomes a bigger problem. So we have a situation where underneath the skin, effectively, inside the body, we have all the cells, right? We're made up of cells. And these cells are designed, in different ways for different parts of the body. Now, the most important thing to understand is that every single cell in the human body has a cell membrane. And the cell membrane can become very damaged and very rigid and very, very sticky. And this then means that the cells are inflamed. This is what we call chronic low-level inflammation. Now, we can't see this on a day-to-day basis. It's usually not visible, and unless you are starting to display symptoms of things like joint pains or joint stiffness, this is when you start to think, well, hang on a second, these are signs of low-level inflammation. And it may be that it is just targeted the cells within the joints, or within the toes, or within the fingers, or within the shoulders, or wherever that may be. But what we need to understand is that if we do not address this low-level chronic inflammation, over a period of time, and again, this depends on diet and lifestyle in a massive way, over a period of time, this low-level inflammation becomes a disease. And diseases are things like diabetes type 2, heart disease, gut diseases, so inflammatory bowel diseases, irritable bowel syndrome. Then there may be mood disorders. There may be brain health problems such as Alzheimer's or dementia. Those are inflammatory conditions. Then there are all the autoimmune diseases, of which there are many, many, many to list. But any autoimmune disease is an inflammatory disorder. It is where the innate immune system has run out of power to do the job and has to begin attacking the body's cells. So what we can do in order to rectify and reduce and prevent this chronic low-level inflammation becoming a disease is make sure that we're eating the right things. So the best diet that I can recommend to you would be to eat a Mediterranean style diet. And a Mediterranean style diet has been proven and researched that it has significant effects on inflammation. It's highly anti-inflammatory. So a Mediterranean diet consists of things like fresh fruit and fresh vegetables, lean meats, fish, legumes, whole grains, and lots of omega-3 fatty acids. Now, anybody who has got some form of inflammatory condition, high blood pressure, high cholesterol, pre-diabetic, weight gain, obesity, all of these things are all inflammatory. Anybody over the age of 50 as well will need to supplement their omega-3s, because the damage is taking place every day, because every day we get a day older, and it is so important that we actually help to reduce the inflammation in that cell. That cell membrane needs to become fluid and pliable so that nutrients can get in through the cell wall and toxins can be expelled out of the cell wall. That will not happen if that cell wall is too rigid. So taking a good quality omega-3 oil is absolutely essential, and there is one that I recommend at the moment that is far exceeding anything else I've ever come across in the 20 years that I've been practicing as a nutritionist, and that is the balance oil. And I have been using it myself, my family, extended family members are using it as well, and I have to say the results are amazing. So if you'd like to find out more, or if you've got any questions on inflammation or the use of omega-3 oils, if you're concerned about anything, or if you've got any health issues, then pop a message to me or pop some comments below, and I'd be pleased to get in touch with you. So thanks for listening and take good care.